Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talk Fishing live stream, episode 4. It's Wednesday night, it's 8 o'clock, and we'll be live talking about fishing for the next hour. Okay, now my phone's just gone off, so let's see what's going on here. Oh, it's a notification that I've gone live. Great start. Let's clear that off my phone. Hiya, Peter. Good evening, Peter Hodgkinson. First in tonight, Peter. Good to see you, mate. I hope you're well. It's been another quiet week on the fishing front for me. Big fat blank on Saturday. So I think that's the end of my carp fishing for a while anyway. Back to lure fishing from now on. Did you go out yourself, Peter, or did you stop in, or what? Gary B, evening mate, welcome along. Andy Clark, evening mate. So you're giving up the bailiffing, Andy? Gary, I hope you're alright. Have you been out, mate, at all? I was just saying to Peter, I blanked on Saturday, but that's nothing new for me. I've been doing a lot of that this year, a hell of a lot of blanking this year. It's not been good at all. The pressure on the fish has been immense with us being in lockdown and stuff like that. So I hope you're all well anyway. Yeah, that's it. You've got to, Andy, look after yourself, mate. You're absolutely right there. I'm going to Canal on Saturday, Andy, if you want to come with me. I don't know whether you can venture into England or whether you're still officially fully locked down or what, like, but you fancy a couple of hours lure fishing, mate, on Saturday afternoon. So, Peter, you are going Saturday stick float fishing, decorating this week. Don't get me started on decorating, mate, and stuff like that. I've got a pile of work to do on 2 houses, and I just keep putting it off. Banned till you're out of lockdown. That's a shame, that, mate, but the offer's there anyway. I'm not sure what this lockdown even is, to be honest. It hasn't stopped me going fishing, Andy. I'm still going to go to Canal on Saturday, like, and I've still been going to the lake, the little lake, and it just I treat it as exercise and you know, a bit of time out of the house and stuff like that, because you've got to get out at some point, haven't you? I mean, I'd go stir crazy if I couldn't go fishing on the weekends at the moment. I work from this desk where I'm sitting now all day, 8:30 till 5, and I've got to get out. I went for a walk about 5:30, like I finished work at 5, had me tea, and then I was straight out the house up the road for a bit of a walk, like just to stretch my legs more than anything and get some exercise, like, because my back's hurting and I stiffen up quite easily as well, you know, because I'm just sitting in the same place all the time at home. So I'm quite happy to go fishing, mate, and if anybody says anything, like, I just tell them to bugger off. It's me exercise, walking up and down the canal towpath or something. There'll be people out there walking their dogs, so I don't really see it as a bit of a problem. Should be okay. Right, okay, you can't cross the border. Yeah, I didn't think you could. Well, I don't understand why you can't, actually. I mean, I know we're not allowed into Wales, assuming you're still on lockdown in Wales, because you went in a bit earlier than everybody else, didn't you? And I knew I couldn't then, but I don't know if it's still going. I don't even know where we are, really. Life's just a bit of a blur, really. It's one day after another, innit? And it's same old, same old. So you're not in lockdown? Oh, you're not, but we are. And when I wanted to go into Wales, it was you were and we weren't. You can't win, can you, mate? Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting up your way again to that deep pit. Because of your right, okay, because of our lockdown. Fair play, mate. That's a shame now. It'd be nice to get out like and get a bit of fresh air in that, but hey ho. Just keep the faith, mate, and keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure it'll all work itself out in the end. It's just going to take months and months, isn't it? Because even after December the 2nd, I don't think we're going to come out of it very much. You've had 6 weeks, yeah, at least 6 weeks, and probably another one to go. Because is it what, a week today or something like that is the 2nd when they're supposed to come out of it. But again, we'll be going into tiers, and I don't know where we'll be in those tiers, to be honest. I would imagine your tier would be quite low, but Merseyside was quite high a few weeks ago, wasn't it? That's why we ended up in tier 3. Evening, Barry, London Predator Angler. Good to see you, mate. I hope you like the camera better, Barry. It doesn't flicker the screen anymore like Mark's in HD when he live streams these days. And I've got a whatchamacallit as well. I can stick a logo in the corner. Stuff like that. I've been slowly setting up this live stream software. Not only that, I can stick some text across the bottom of the screen as well. So it's all very snazzy. Yeah, tears with me. What are tears for, Andy? Because you can't go into England? Or a big smiley face with that one. Still got the old cup. There you go. Championes. Nobody's had a go at me over the cup since I started live streaming again. Oh, you can't fish at all? Why is that, mate? Are you just not able to get out or anything like that? Any particular reason? Gary's working the weekend, so no fishing. Peter's going stick float fishing. Barry's on a countdown to an operation, aren't you, Barry? I saw that the other day, mate. And yeah, start of a long road. Time for a bit of Rocky. Hang in there. Bit busy. Yeah, you will. I know you've been working a lot, mate, but you're going on to basically you're going to be on holiday for a while, aren't you? Just doing short days and stuff like that, short weeks. I thought that was all right. In the run up to Christmas, like through December, I looked at what you put and I thought, bloody hell, I wish I had that amount of time off. But it's a wrong time of year for it, really, isn't it? December. It's not a great time to be off. I don't think it is anyway, not fishing wise anyway, because there's not a lot to do. It's possibly the poorest month of the year for fishing, isn't it? So, but you know, I'm sure you'll find something to do with your time, mate. Just chill out, watch a bit of telly, take the dog for a walk, occupy the kids, keep them happy. Just go about life. The easiest thing to do, isn't it? And I'm sure you've got some Christmas shopping to do as well, even if it's online. At least you've got some shopping to do, stuff like that. I've not even thought about Christmas yet. I've got to decide what I want. What do I get for Christmas? Anybody got any ideas for Christmas presents for fishermen? Something I haven't got. It's not much I haven't got, to be perfectly honest. But if anybody's got any ideas for a Christmas present for the fishermen, I'd be very, very interested to hear. Nobody's got any ideas. Are you still there, Barry, by the way? You haven't answered yet. I know I was a bit late acknowledging you coming in there, but it's running a bit slow on the live chat. I think there's a bit of a disconnect between when I'm talking and when everybody's name pops up with something to say. But I will get used to it. Oh, Barry's not there. Come on, Barry. How many's here, by the way? 4. Oh, there's only 4 in. Need to be able to see this, don't I? Oh, I've lost my OBS. There it is. I think they're ruining it, Peter. To be perfectly honest, I'll read Peter's question out there. Just watch Nick Heller's podcast. What is your thoughts on money and the big companies? Do you think they are ruining carp fishing, or do you think it's made it better? I actually think they're ruining it, mate, to be perfectly honest. It's just a business nowadays, isn't it? It's just big business, and they're all interested in profit. And some of the things that's being done in the name of profit are absolutely disgusting. And just give us a second and I'll give you an example. I'm just going to get up and go and get one of my bags. This is my law bag, and it's got a few bits and pieces in it, like, but I just want to grab something out of it if I can find it. I'll be taking this with me on Saturday, like, that's why it's out. So, it's just got loads of little compartments and stuff like that in it, and sometimes I have difficulty finding what I'm looking for. In fact, I'm having great difficulty finding what I'm looking for because it doesn't look like it's here. Unless it's hidden somewhere. Nope. No. I'm going to have to go through this bag before I go fishing. It's alright, I've got it. I'll give you the perfect example, Peter, of greedy companies ruining fishing. I've got here, right, some fluorocarbon. That's Drennan Suplex. Now, I've used this before on my channel already for barbel fishing and lure fishing. It's a cracking line. Fluorocarbon for hook lengths. Because it's invisible in water, or nearly invisible, it's great for lure fishing for perch. And it's great for barbel fishing on the river. It's what I call a low water rig. So, you know, when the river's on the bones of its arse and it's had no rain and the bites are hard to come by, then the fluorocarbon can get you a couple of extra bites, and the long hook lengths in the fluorocarbon are what I use to get me bites on the River Severn. Now, that Suplex is £5.50 for 50 metres, 50 metres, 50, right? So it's not bad, good value for money. This is another fluorocarbon, IQ2 from Corda. Now this spool's it's the same stuff, fluorocarbon, you know, extra soft fluorocarbon, supple fluorocarbon, £5.50 for 50 metres, £9.99 for 20 metres. So you get 2.5 times less for double the price. Or if you work it out, it's actually 5 times the cost of this fluorocarbon. How can you justify that? What's this got that's so special that this one hasn't? They're both soft fluorocarbons, but this one's 5 times the price. Why? That's for me, that's what's ruining fishing. It's greed. They're all wanting money. And I'm going to try a couple of fluorocarbon carp rigs. That's why I bought this, but I bought it before I realised that they do both fluorocarbon. I just wasn't thinking at the time, but I'm actually going to use this for my carp rigs. Works for barbel, works for perch when you're lure fishing, and barbel. So it's going to work for carp. This one does, this one will. And I'm going to use this one and prove to myself that there's no difference. But 5 times the price, I mean, I just think that's disgusting. And I'm not at all happy that I spent the money on the Corda one. Had I have realised at the time what I was doing, which I didn't, stupid me, I would most certainly have not bought it at all in the first place. So that to me is ruining fishing. They're after too much money, and it's out and out carb tax, and I'm not happy about it at all. So as far as I'm concerned, mate, big companies, they disgust me. It's one of the reasons I have a YouTube channel in the first place, to show people how to do it cheap and not to overspend or give these chances the money in the first place, because they're just ripping people off. 5 times the price. Where's the justification in that? I mean, Drennan's probably getting a good markup on that as well. At £5.50 for 50 metres. They're probably getting they're making a profit on it. They're a profitable company. So what's the justification in charging 5 times the price? So they're ruining it, mate, absolutely ruining it. But I'm sure that's not just my opinion either, probably a lot of other people will tell you that as well. It's not good. Not many made the transition from your other page to this with the live feeds, have they? No, Andy, they haven't. And I've not really pushed it or promoted it or anything like that. I put a link on my community tab on my proper YouTube page that it's going on the day it happens. I'll just put live at 8 PM tonight, and I stick it on my Facebook page live at 8 PM in 15 minutes or so, which I did before. But apart from that, I've not pushed it anywhere else. I don't push it in the Northwest group or anything like that. I want it to stay quiet anyway, mate, to be honest. I don't want 100 people in here all talking, because I won't be able to keep up. I used to like it when it was 10 to 15 people, and who on an individual basis. I liked it when it was like that, but not loads and loads. So I'm not overly pushing it, and if people want to come in, they will. They'll find a way here eventually. Barry's found his way here. Yeah, he did say he'd pop in. Let's just not get it too big, and keep it back to what it was. So I'll just keep plodding on with it, mate, and hopefully the old regulars will come back, maybe a few new ones, and we'll see how it goes. It probably doesn't help that I'm keeping them to an hour, because you used to get people who would come on in the first hour but not the second, and people who would be on in the second hour and not the first. So now it's just the 8 till 9 crowd who were on early, and some people have stayed the whole length of it, and others would just leave after 5 minutes or so. It's just one of those things. But I'm happy to keep it small, mate, so I won't over advertise it. I'll just keep advertising it in the same places on my own Mark Carp channel. This is my second channel, isn't it? I kind of started it afterwards, hoping to build on it and get it up to a decent level, but I ended up abandoning it when YouTube changed all the rules, because it was monetized at one time, this channel, but it didn't have 1,000 subscribers or so many hours of watch time and stuff like that, so I abandoned it. And I just wanted somewhere that would not interfere with my other channel, because every time I did live streams on the other channel I'd lose 2 or 3 subscribers every week, and it just kept setting me back. You'd gain them and then it's like taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. So I thought, well, I'll use that channel for it, and you know, if people come over, great. If they don't, that's all right, but at least the other channel's left to grow on its own naturally, and it's not getting set back or anything like that. And it's got like 5,760 plus subscribers now to Mark Carp, which is great. You know, I never ever thought I'd get that many in my life. So it's good to see, like, and it's not getting that 1 step back. Every time it goes 2 steps forward, it's not getting the 1 step back anymore, so it's growing quicker, which is great. Just what I wanted. So I'm in the right place for the live streams. Like, we'll keep them small, keep them to the usual suspects, those of us who know it's on, and maybe the odd new person, but it won't interfere with the other channel, which is exactly why I've brought them here in the first place. And hi, Carper. Daryl, hi, mate. Just in it for a bit until the baby awakens. Good to see you, Daryl, anyway, mate. I hope you're well. You've been quiet on the video front of late, haven't you? Same as me. I've had a lot of time off YouTube in this summer, mate. I just haven't been on it at all. The lockdowns affected me in quite a lot of ways, like, and I didn't want to do anything. So it's been a tough year, mate, as I'm sure it has for you. Peter, the carp has become a commodity. Welfare of carp isn't even thought about. No, well, you'd only have to look at some of the fishery owners to know that they don't treat the fish very well, some of them. You can tell the ones that are in it for the money and the ones that aren't, Peter. You know, you soon get to know the good ones and bad ones are once you've been on the scene a while, like. That's how it goes. You lost 13 subs from your last video. Obviously people didn't like it. Yeah, that's right, Daryl. Yeah, you do get some that give you a negative return. And what I'm finding is the higher your subscriber count goes, the more likely you are to get someone who'll leave if they don't like it. They don't like what you're doing. So you get a lot of people coming in. One good video will bring them all in, and then you make your next one and they don't like it and they're off. So it ends up being up and down like a yo-yo, which is how mine is at the moment. Like, it's still in an upward trend, which is great. And I wasn't going to have the live streams upsetting that or sending it the other way or anything like that, because some people just don't like them. But anyway, it's not so bad now. You know, I've got this software going, and I can make the live streams a lot more interesting depending on what people want to talk about. I've got access to my hard drive on my PC with all my pictures on, and I can jump pictures into the live stream. So depending on what we're talking about, you might stop me in my tracks, say, oh, I've got a picture of that, and I can jump to the picture and bring it in. So they might get a bit more interesting over the coming months, like as I learn this software. So hopefully, like, it'll be a bit more interesting than last time in the webcam with the flashing strobing every time I go this far away from the microphone. That's finished. I'm not going back to the webcam on this PC. Like, I'll just stick with this one. So hopefully, like, the lot better quality now. The audio's coming from this, which is a Yeti studio microphone. So hopefully the audio's a lot better, a lot fuller. And yeah, the tools have been improved, and hopefully, like, I'll be able to make these lives a bit more interesting. would it be worth putting a short video on your other channel to let regulars know? Yeah, possibly, Andy. Yeah, do a little bit of an update video or something like that. I try and keep them off that channel as well. Like I do the odd one now and again if it's something really important. But I find that, you know, if you just update people and tell them what's going on, they leave. That's the kind of thing that'll lose you 13 subscribers. People will just tune in and think, what are you telling us this for? You know, people, they want information and they want to know how to do something and stuff like that, and that's what they demand. So that's what I give them, and I try and keep the updates off there, like, if I can. But yeah, maybe drop it in somewhere in one of my new videos and see how it goes. We'll see about that, but you know, the lads know where it is, and they can come in if they want. So it'll build up over time, as far as I'm concerned, Andy. Everybody will get to know where it is again, and a lot of you have made your way back here anyway. You know, Barry's back, Daryl's back, you're back, Ian. Oh, evening, Ian. Blanked again at the weekend, back out this Saturday for the 24. Yeah, okay. I blanked last weekend as well, Ian, but that's par for the course for me of late. Like, I've not been doing very well. Pressure, angling pressure, simple as, you know, there's been far too much of it, like, and I've struggled. It's me versus other anglers versus the carp in that order, and it's the other anglers that are causing no end of trouble. Like, there's just too many of them on the bank, mate. So, oh, there's my phone again. So it's a struggle. I'll be grateful to do a bit of lure fishing on Saturday, to be honest. Like, I'm quite happy just having a stroll up and down the canal on Saturday afternoon, I think. Right, we'll just finish my cup of tea. Right, Daryl, the sound is very good. Yeah, it's a proper studio mic, Daryl. It cost me £100. I've had it for a couple of years. I bought it, I thought, you know, I need to improve the sound quality on my videos. Back when I was using a GoPro, and I looked around and I found this one for £100 in PC World, a Yeti studio mic. And it's got all kinds of settings on it, like you can do podcasts with it. So there's a mic on one side and a mic on the other, you know, for people sitting opposite each other to talk. There's a music setting for if you're playing music, because it's the kind of thing you'd stick next to your guitar. It's quite snazzy, like, it's a decent size. As you can see, there's buttons on the back, buttons on the front. It's a bit of a size, like. But it's a nice bit of kit, and you know, I don't have to sit too close to it. Like, I'm about a foot away from it, and it does sound nice and sweet. So it's worth getting one of them. I got it for narrating, you know. So if I was putting footage out that had no sound on, no commentary while I was out, or I wanted to dub a bit where it was windy and going in the microphone, I could come home and record it on this and then just overlay it onto the video, so it was better quality. So that's why I got it, but I never used it. I ended up just using the video camera, and it's found a purpose now, so I'm quite happy. Hi Luke Wicks, good to see you, mate. I hope you're well. I'm alright, doing a lot of blanking, but you know, I'm alive and well and in good health, as they say. Yeah, I have seen that certain parts of the canal are choked with weed, Andy, and that leads me to think that there's not been any boat traffic on the canal this summer. Usually you expect it to be chocolate coloured, and there's no sunlight getting through to the bottom for weed to take hold. But I've seen some sections of it are looking terrible, and I'm wondering what I'm going to find when I go tomorrow. I don't know. I'm hoping it's not going to be weedy because I actually prefer it coloured. But without the boats to churn the water and keep it coloured, the weed does get hold. If the canal doesn't get used, they'll have a devil of a job trying to reclaim it, because once the weed takes hold, mate, and gets into stretches, they're literally going to have to dredge it to make it navigable again. So I'm not sure what's going to go on there, or even what I'm going to find. I went to Waverton, just outside Chester, about 6 weeks ago, something like that. And it was the same as usual. You know, there was boats going up and down, and it was coloured. It was chocolate, as I'd expect it to be. But I don't know where these stretches that are weedy are. I mean, they may be further south, mate, or off the Cheshire Loop that the holiday makers use for the boats. But, you know, with pubs closed and stuff like that, there's not going to be much going on, is there? So I wouldn't have thought, you know, usually the canal boaters, they'll do a loop of Cheshire round the canals and then come back again. It takes about a week to do, so it's ideal for a holiday. And they stop at pubs and stuff like that on the way, so the likes of the Shady Oak, places like that. They're not going to be stopping there, are they, if the pubs are closed? So I don't know. Or they're just not going to go. They're just going to think, well, the pubs are all closed. There's no point in going on the canal, taking the boats out. What's to do? And I think that's probably why it's gone quite weedy, mate. But I'll see on Saturday anyway. I'm going down to a few places on Saturday. Like, I'm going to pay a visit to half a dozen of my old haunts and see what they're like. Because I barely did any lure fishing last winter because of my shoulder. I still might not do much this year because it's still bad, but we'll see. Montenegro shore fishing, bravo, Mark, very interesting. Greetings from Montenegro. Greetings, mate. I think we were actually talking about shore fishing on this channel last week. One of my mates has been, I don't know if you know where I am shore fishing, but I'm opposite Liverpool. The team who's, you know, you must have heard of Liverpool Football Club. I'm opposite Liverpool, very close to the River Mersey and the North Sea. And one of my mates has been fishing the beach off there, catching cod and rays lately. And he's invited me to go, but I just haven't been yet. I haven't got round to it. So yeah, you might see a bit of shore fishing on my channel, mate. The lake has been rammed, Ian, yeah. Might just try singles. Could be fishing over someone else's bait. That's the thing with day ticket waters, mate. You don't know what someone else has thrown in. So it's best throw nothing in yourself. That's the way I treat it. Just use a very small amount of bait to nick a bite. So a single, a small bag, a stringer, just not a lot of bait, and just concentrate on your location and getting it in the right place. If you can get it in the area that the fish are, even a single will get some attention. The fish will have to pick it up to try it, and that's when you get your bite. I always fish day ticket waters like that, mate, and never take a lot of bait. I famously turned up for a social at Sandhurst with my mates. We'd hired the lake for 2 days, and I turned up. Everybody else had like 10 or 20 kilos of boilies, and they had the particles and everything else, and I turned up with one tin of tiger nuts. little tiny tin of tiger nuts like this, and that's all I had for bait. And yeah, who caught the fish? Yeah, you don't need a lot, mate. I actually went fishing once, Ian, right? I went to Burton Mere, I forgot my bait, and I had to rummage around in my rucksack and found 2 pop-ups, and rather than go home, I just fished with the 2 pop-ups, and I caught 3 fish. I got one on the pop up, and then it stayed on, and then I put it back out and caught another one, and I got a bite on the other one, and by the time I'd finished, I'd lost both pop ups, but I actually managed to get 3 fish with the only 2 baits I had in my rucksack. I am notoriously known for being a tight arse when it comes to bait, mate. I don't use a lot of it at all, just enough to nick a bite. But that's par for the course for a short session angler like me. Like I'm not fishing for long, if you know what I mean. And a tin of tiger nuts is enough to last a long time for me. So yeah, I took a tin of tiger nuts to Sandhurst, and that was it. And course. Mark, we see all kinds of quality boilies out there and boilie makers. Do you think the local guys can knock a top quality bait out for £7? Or do you think they would be crap for that much? No. To be honest, Peter, most baits are £7 anyway. I know in the shops, like they're in freezer bags in the freezer, and you pick them up and they're like 10, 12, 14 quid, something like that. But you can go to a bait roller and you should only be paying £6.50 a kilo, really. Maybe even cheaper than that. I'm not sure how much mine were. I always get someone who is a bait tester for someone. So I know people who test for all sorts. Nash, CC Moores, what's the other one? What's the one I've got now? DNA. The latest batch of boilies I got at DNA, and I know people who test for them and get discount rates, field tester rates, so they only pay 60% or something like that. So I just get my mates to get me bait for me. They're happy to put the order in because it makes them look good with the company. If they're shifting some bait, then that's great. And of course I get me bait cheap, or cheaper than going to the company myself. So I've never paid more than like £6.50 for the kilo of bait. Tops. I think the most expensive one I've used is the Nash Scopex squid. They're I think that was about £38 for a bag, which is just over £7 a kilo, isn't it? But I thought Nash Scopex squid's one of the all-time baits, best baits of all time, and it's incredible for results. So I had confidence in the bag as far as I'm concerned. Like, so I went a little bit higher for that, but most of the time, like £6.50 a kilo is fine. You can actually make a decent bait yourself for £3-4 tops. They're not expensive. All you need is to know is the right ingredients, where to get them from, and to be able to knock it out with the rollers, and you're fine. I actually used to make my own bait myself years ago. I stopped when I went back to work, but up until 1995, something like that, I was rolling my own. And I went back to work because I was on the dole at the time. Like, that's why I was rolling my own, because I wanted to do it cheap. I went back to work and started paying for my bait again, and I sold all my rollers. I had bait guns and rollers and all sorts, and I flogged it all, and I've never rolled the boilie since. That was 25 years ago. But yeah, there's no harm in making your own, mate. You get an individual bait that's yours. It's unique to you because only you know what's in it. Well, I say that, but what you put in it is probably the same as what everyone else is putting in it, if you know what I mean. So there's, I think a lot of boilies have got the same kind of signals coming from them. So people are using the same fish meals. They put calf milk replacer in there, some casein or something, whatever. They're all pretty much they're picking from the same basket of ingredients, if you know what I mean. So a lot of them have got the same kind of food signals. So I don't worry about my boilies, mate. Just use whatever. You could pick any one of them, anyone from a bait company. They're all going to catch fish, otherwise they wouldn't sell. So give me anything, mate. All I'm interested in is where I'm going to put it. That's what really matters. It's not the boilies. Just sticking it in the right place, mate. Tommy Mac. All right, mate. Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm all right. I hope you are as well, mate. Good to see you, Tommy. Nice to see you found your way back here as well, mate. I don't know how you did, but I'm glad you have. I've been meaning to, I've been wanting to go back on, that deep lake in North Wales, mate. But we can't get into Wales. As Andy says, it's locked down. I literally wanted to go back just as Wales went into lockdown. I thought, you know what, I'm going to go up there and just get some easy fishing in, and that'll be that. And they locked Wales down, and I haven't been able to get near the place since. So never mind. I hope you're all right, Tommy. Anyway, you're still in WAA, mate. I'm keeping my ticket for next year for sure. Just to let you know. Luke, I've got another private fishing match tomorrow. Okay, mate. I hope you do better than the last one. Mind you, I know you caught a load of fish, but your mate seems to catch twice as many as you. So that's your mission this week, Luke. Beat him. You've got to win. You should listen to the older and more experienced. Yeah, that classes as me. I think I'm old now. Certainly feel it. Even though I don't look it. I'm 21. Oh dear. Right, where are we? I was going to say something else then. What was it about? I think it was about the canal that Andy mentioned before with the weed. Yeah, the weed in the canal, it's going to affect what lure to use, Andy. I'm just going to take my little lure fishing bag with me on Saturday. That's literally all I'm going to take with me. I don't even think I'm going to bother taking a landing net, because I won't be fishing for big fish. I'll only be using a small 1-inch lure just to get as many bites as I can. But if the canal is weedy, then you're not going to be able to bounce a jig head along the bottom, because it'll just get caught up in the weed. So it could seriously affect the lure fishing. I might have to use something with a bit of buoyancy. I'm not going to take any of me pike lures with me. I'll just take the perch bag and do a bit of a recce. To be honest, I'll probably take the mini with me as well. I've got that, don't you? For aerial footage. I think the canal is one of the reasons I bought the Mavic Mini in the first place, so I could fly it up and down the canal, get some good footage. So I think the Mini is going to come out to play on Saturday as well, because the weather's going to be quite good. We're going into high pressure tonight, and tomorrow on Friday we're probably going to see the first sharp frosts of the year. I think we might have seen one already a couple of weeks ago, but I'm expecting it to be white in the morning, either tomorrow morning or Friday morning, Saturday morning. I'm expecting it to be white, nice and still, not much wind. So what they call ideal flying conditions if you're a drone enthusiast and you know how to fly a drone. So I'll take the Mavic out on Saturday, I think, and get some footage together, ready for the next video on lure fishing. Not in the sense of old. Yeah, I am definitely old. Going for pike or perch? I'm going to go for perch, Luke. I've spent most of the last few years fishing for perch. I don't tend to bother with the pike so much. I did think of doing it this year, doing a bit more on the pike side of it, but I'm going to start with the perch and see where we go from there. It's a bit of a test session, really. It's my first lure fishing session of the year, and really I'm just testing my shoulder out, because my shoulder's a bit goosed, and last year I went a couple of times. I thought, you know what, it's easier just sitting behind the carp rods, because I'm not constantly, casting, winding in for a couple of hours. You just, once your carp rods are out, you just sit there and your shoulder gets rested. So it's just a case of trying my shoulder and see how I get on with it. If it goes again, or if it ends up sore again, then I probably have to knock it in the head and go back to carp fishing again. But we'll see how it goes. I did try and lure fish left-handed last year, and that was a disaster. I think anybody who tries to change hands, I thought I'm gonna stick with it. I'll get on with it, and I'll just keep going at it and going at it and going at it. And it didn't work. I kept missing bites, and I couldn't get anything right. I couldn't work the lure properly, so I didn't get many bites. And when I did get them, I missed them. So I haven't done so good. Biggest perch? Don't know, Luke, because I don't really weigh them. I've caught a couple of decent ones in the past, before I started lure fishing and before I started carp fishing back in the 80s. I would say definitely over £2. Since I've been lure fishing, probably £1.50, I think, is the biggest I've had. £2 are quite rare on the Shropshire Union. They don't come along very often, not on the northern end where I fish anyway. It tends to be just jack pike. So I'm still looking for my £2 lure caught perch. I still haven't got it yet, but I'm fishing a very, very difficult water to get one from, and sooner or later I'll get my chance. But I don't do it often enough to get into the bigger fish, because I only do it in November, December, maybe January, and then I'm off doing something else. So I'm doing it at the worst time of year when it's gone cold, and I'm not doing it for long enough. So I haven't quite got there yet, but I just keep chipping away at it every year, and I will get there eventually. But yeah, old PB, probably definitely over £2, I would say. I've had some really big perch in the past, but not since I've been lure fishing. They'll tend to be quite small, but that's the nature of the canal I'm fishing. But I shall get there. There you go. Let's stick a bit of a ticker up for you. Little reminder of what's going on. Hi Mark, you have a follow-up from me. Nice one, Montenegro shore fishing. Nice one, thank you very much. Big worms, yeah. And I mean, worms are a perch bait par excellence, really, aren't they? If you're gonna fish for perch, a worm is probably the A1 number one bait. I think I could have had plenty of big perch had I have used a worm, but my speciality, the way I want to catch them, is on the lure, and I would rather lure fish for them than go on the worm. I would certainly have had a £2 out of the Shropshire Union if I'd fished worm, make no mistake. But I prefer to get one on the lures. It's not the bait, it's the technique. Float fishing a worm's easy, but getting them on the lure is a lot more skillful and harder. So I'll take the lures, mate, definitely. But if you're just into your fishing for anything that comes along, like a float fish, worm will do you the world of good for a perch. But I don't just want to catch perch on the lures, actually. I want to catch a few other fish as well. I know every now and again a bream will slip up, or a roach, and I'm kind of going down the route of micro laws. So, you know, laws of less than an inch in size, like that a roach or a bream would have a go at. So that's where I'm at. I'm hoping to get, you know, broaden the species rather than just target the perch, but I don't want to broaden it to include pike if I can help it. So little small worm type lures of 1 inch or less is probably what I'm going to use this year. But we'll see how it goes, Luke. I'll have an hour or two on Saturday. I think Saturday I'll spend a couple of hours driving round and flying the Mavic, and probably half an hour to an hour's lure fishing, something like that. I'm just not going to be doing loads, if you know what I mean. I'll just I'm going to keep the session short, like, one, so I don't do my shoulder in, and two, because I want to get a lot of footage. So I'm going to get some aerial shots of like locks, bridges, boats. They're the things I want when I go. Aerial shots of locks, bridges and boats for my next video. So happy days. Right, looking down the list, how many's on, checking my stream health. I should show you this so you can see. I'm gonna get, because I'm on a camera now, I can turn it round and show you. So there's the screen I'm looking at. As you can see, there's all the chat down the side. This thing on the top here is OBS. There's the live stream coming from YouTube, and there's the audio bar and all the sources and things like that for flicking between photographs and that, and putting the logos on that scrolls across. They're all there, and the logo and the ticket. I've built them. I've built it into the software. So yeah, there we go. That's what it looks like on the screen. Just thought I'd give you a little look at that, because it's actually quite good. Ooh. Shouldn't have picked the camera up, really. I've messed it up now, haven't I? Where are we? There we go. I'll just move my microphone in shot a little bit. Mr. Tyler, another one of the old school is back. Welcome, mate. Yeah, doing lives again. How have you been doing? Hope you're well. Oh yeah, Mr. Tyler, yeah, I'm great, thanks. It hasn't been the best of years, has it? Let's be honest. But I'm all right, mate. Yeah, I hope you are as well. A lot of the old school live streamers are starting to find their way back here slowly. I'm glad you have as well. You're about the third tonight who's made their way back here. I was saying to Andy before, Andy Clark, I'm not promoting them a lot on anywhere. Just, you know, a post on my community tab on my Mark Carp channel, and a post on Facebook on my Northwest Carp Facebook page, but not in any of the groups or anything like that. So I've not been promoting them. This is number 4, so I've been doing them now for 4 weeks, and I've literally just changed software, so you'll notice the big difference in the audio, and everything's in HD now as well. And you know, there's a little logo on the screen down here, and a ticker going across that I can switch on and off and stuff like that. I can jump photos in and all sorts now to make it a bit more interesting. So yeah, the live streams are back, but they're staying on this channel, so it doesn't do no damage to me main one. Because saying to Daryl before, like, Carp, but it's when you do live streams, your videos get you 2 steps forward when you get subscribers, and then you do a live stream and lose some, just 1 step back. So by keeping them on here and doing them on this channel, like, I can bring them back, and it's not going to bother me other channel at all, like. So that'll just keep growing at the rate it is. So they're here, mate. I'll keep doing them probably all winter, every Wednesday. But the only thing is now they're only an hour long instead of 2. I'm running them on a camcorder, which runs on a battery. So, you know, I can go for as long as the camcorder lasts, like, but generally I give it an hour. Although it will go a bit longer, but you know, I have to recharge the battery once I'm done. Like, I switch the camera off, I've got to put it back on charge again, ready for next time. So it's not it can't go on for a long, if you know what I mean. There's a limit to the time I can stay on here for. So they're only down to an hour now, mate. So 8 till 9 is the time that I do them every Wednesday night. But now you know they're back anyway, at least you can pop in. Be nice to see you again, mate. And it's good to see you back here as well. And you'll notice the audio's a lot better as well. So everything's good. The lives are back. I'll keep doing them till maybe March. You know, once we come out of winter and the light nights start coming back, like, I probably stop them then. I spent most of this summer Wednesday nights fishing, believe it or not. I've been working from home since March. They sent us home, and I have a laptop and I work from this desk that I'm sitting at now, like. So I get up in the morning, come in here, turn the laptop on. I'm in here till 11:30, midnight, when I go to bed, and then I get up again in the morning and I'm back in here. So I'm virtually living in this room at the moment. Apart from when I'm asleep, I'm in here most of the time. So during the summer months, when it was light until 10 o'clock at night, I was putting the gear in the car at 5 o'clock and slipping off to the lake for 4 or 5 hours over the summer months, like, just to basically just get some fresh air and get out. So that's what I did over summer, mate. And now it's gone dark again, and I'm stuck in on Wednesdays now. I thought I'd bring them back again. That, plus we're all on lockdown as well, so there's nothing really much else to do, is there? If it wasn't on here now, I'd be watching the telly. Be watching, like, I think Crocodile Dundee 2 has been on behind me or something like that. I'd be watching that, just a repeat. So I thought, what the hell, bring back the live streams. Right, I'll be on every Wednesday. Yeah, been a very slow year for the fishing. I managed a 28-pound carp from a fishery just after lockdown. Lockdown 1, yeah, but not being out fishing much at all this year. Well, I'll tell you what, you've had bigger carp than me, mate. I think my biggest is about 18 pound. I haven't even had a 20 this year. It's been very, very poor. I've had a few doubles. I've had 2 or 3 different 18 pounders, but no 20. But the water I've been fishing's hardly got any in. You know, it might have 2 at the most. So, you know, your chances of actually catching one in the first place are slim in the first place. And I was saying before, like, to the lads, this year's been me versus other carp anglers versus the fish. So it's not just you against the fish, it's you against other carp anglers, getting a swim, getting space, just somewhere to get your lines in the water. It's been ridiculous. So I've struggled, really, really struggled. Caught a few fish, like, but not many. And really, I'll be glad when everything goes back to normal and people go back to work and they're not furloughed and stuff like that. I'll be quite happy. Because we're in lockdown and got restrictions on pubs and stuff like that, everybody seems to want to be on the bank this year, and it's been an utter disaster. to be quite honest. So we'll see how next year goes anyway. I'll just keep plodding on and see what happens. But yeah, £28 is not bad, mate. I wish I'd have had one of them. I'd be quite happy with that for the year's target. I'd be made up with that. So you never know. I might come up with the 20 sooner or later, but it ain't going to be in the next month or so, like, because I'm going lure fishing now. But yeah, I know what you mean, mate. Slow. Very slow. But hey ho. At least a few of you have made your way back here anyway. I think how many old school regulars have been on here tonight? Luke is back. Daryl, you, a few other people as well. I know Gary B was in here straight away. First live stream I did, I think Gary B was back. And Andy Clark as well. And Peter has found his way here as well. Peter Hodgkinson's done alright as well, finding his way here. So it hasn't been too bad. Still a bit light on how many people are turning up, Mr. T. It's F1 Gamer, thanks mate. Owen McGorgy, evening mate. Hey up, where are all these coming from? Friedegis and Cannock and Frosty already. Is that where you are, Andy? You're back in Cannock? Oh dear. Yes, I can see you going for a walk there round the lake, maybe. How many's on, Andy? Do you know? Anybody there when you drove past? Thanks, mate. F1 Gamer. Appreciate that. F1 Formula 1 as in the racing? No mate, I'm not a gamer at all. I know I'm using OBS for this live stream, like, but I'm not a gamer at all. I've got RSI, mate. Dodgy fingers. I couldn't do this with my thumbs all the time. Like me arms are goosed. My arms and my wrists. I've had it, mate. Too much work. You can't see, Andy. Right, okay. I would imagine it'd be quite busy anyway, mate. It's Oh, you're in the lay-by, right? Okay. I suppose it's dark as well, so you're not going to see very much, are you? But at least you know where you are, mate. Long way from home. No, mate, eating fish isn't vegetarian at all. It's meat. Definitely. If you want to be a vegetarian, you need chickpeas and couscous and lettuce and carrots and stuff like that. Anything that's living, you can't eat if you're a veggie. Or is that vegan? That might be vegan, I don't know. A shark chased me. Almost 200 subs. Yeah, not many. This isn't my main channel, mate. This is me side channel that I just use for live streaming. I am doing a Steven Gerrard accent, aren't I? Yeah, I'll show you my cup. Can you see that? Try and get it in front of the camera for you. There you go. A proper cup. And this is me best Steven Gerrard accent. Do you like Luton? Luton Town, they're alright actually. Don't mind them, mate. They're okay. Just don't like Man United. But then again, a lot of the lads on this live stream are Man United supporters. The One Man Show, you've subscribed. Are you a fisherman, mate? Because this is a fishing channel, you know. It's not a gaming channel or a football channel. It's just fishing. So you probably won't stick around unless you're a fisherman. What to eat, Marco? Celtic or Rangers? Neither. To be honest, mate, neither Celtic or Rangers. They're both the two partisan for my liking. Celtic and Rangers, like they're all religious nuts. It's Celtic are Catholic, aren't they, and Rangers are Protestant, and it's just like daft. Absolutely daft. I'm not religious in any sense of the word, like, so neither Celtic or Rangers. It doesn't matter which one we get in if it's in the Champions League or anything like that. Liverpool will knock them out. There is no Fortnite stream, mate. I've never played Fortnite in my life. There's fishing on Fortnite, is there? Yeah, right, okay, I'm not gonna go there, mate. The thing about fishing is you've got to get out there and do it. You need to be in the fresh air, in the rain or in the wind or whatever the weather's like outside. You just get out there and do it. Sitting in front of a keyboard fishing on a computer is not something I'd want to do, to be honest. Not real. You're not joking? No, I don't think for 1 minute that you are, mate. I'm sure it is. Take your Xbox when you go fishing. I think a few people do that, mate. They've got some pretty good power banks around these days. Like, I know I used to take a telly with me when I went. If I was going for like 2 or 3 days at a time, like, and camping out, I always had a big power bank and a television to watch. To pass the time away, like. But I know a few people who take games consoles with them and stuff like that now. Me neither. I wouldn't know neither, mate. I just had a telly. But I know a few people who take an Xbox or a PlayStation. Gizmo, cheers, mate. Bloody hell, where's all these people coming from? No, mate, never fished in the Atlantic. Never been to India. Went to France once. Patience, Marco, patience. That's what counts. Alright, Tommy. Yeah, cheers, mate. Me hour's up anyway by about 10 minutes. I should have wrapped this live stream up about 10 minutes ago, like, so I'm going to do it now myself, mate. Take care, Tommy. Next time you're up in the Welsh neck of the woods at the lake, I'll see you then. If not, I'll catch you next week. I don't think I'll see you before New Year, probably, but in the New Year, yeah. Cheers, Gary B. Good to see you again, mate. I'll catch you next week. And everybody else, it is time to end. 1 to 20 seconds if you're lucky, mate. It can take months to catch a fish. Yeah. Cheers, Tommy. Blew the whole lot. Brilliant. Nice one, F1 gamer. Right. Au revoir, Owen. And cheers, guys, for popping in. I'll catch you all next week. So, Gary B, Barry, Andy, Mr. Tyler, Luke, Montenegro Shore Fishing, Ian, Daryl, if you're still around, mate, and Barry. Barry popped in and said something and then didn't say anything else, did he? Right, cheers, guys, and Peter Hodgkinson as well. Thanks for being here, lads, and I'll catch you all next week. Cheers, Mr. T. Bye, mate. One man show. Marco, cheers, lads. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next week. I'm going to click the end stream button now, so take care, guys. Bye.